It's live. It's live. Hello, everybody. My name is Tyler, and welcome back to a brand new episode. How are you doing today? I woke up. I had a nap. I'm feeling good. How are you doing? Hi, Joanna. She's in the background. It's a bit of a different stream today. I don't have to what? I mean, I'm just dating it for myself, too. I don't care. But how are you guys doing today? We have the Base to Space charity event that's coming up at the time of recording. I've been bad at promoting it, but yeah, I'm excited for the race. It's my first time, and I'm really. It's almost funny though, Joanna, because as we look behind me in the video form, it looks like there's a little cryptid that's walking, like crawling around. Yeah, a little bit, but I think I'm rested, and we're gonna be playing some games after this. I'm hoping so, if I don't pass out first. But yeah, hopefully you're having a good day at the time you're listening to this, and we'll continue the episodic series of What Is My Personality. I've been answering questions on the 16 personality quiz for the past couple of episodes, so hopefully you guys have not dropped off, and hopefully you've stayed on, because I don't know either. Alright, let's see the first question. Your personal work style is closer to spontaneous bursts of energy than organized and constant effort. Spontaneous bursts. Yeah, I would say that's mostly true. I would say it's mostly spontaneous bursts of energy because I work a 9 to 5 at night, and so managing our energy throughout that 8-hour shift of being at night, out of sight, out of mind, is very hard to control. I hope that I'm getting nutrition and and I hope that I have some things to chew on and bite and eat during my breaks, because otherwise my spontaneous burst of energy becomes just me trying to not fall asleep. So I need substance to maintain that burst of energy. But if I worked a normal job in the morning, it probably would be more consistent and organized. When someone thinks highly of you, you wonder how long it will take them to feel disappointed in you. Oh god, that's true. That's true. And I don't mean to bring that up in a really negative way. I've just been so used to it because if I've already mentioned to this before in the channel that I didn't have a great perspective to where a lot of times, the only times they ever thought highly of me, my mom ever thought highly of me, was because I did well on a test and I did well in sports, even though those expectations were based on standards of oh, you're supposed to be doing that anyways. That was supposed to do as a dutiful son. And so anything that I did well was expected, and anything I did okay with was not well received. So I've been so conditioned to do that I'm learning to take things at face value, and I don't plan on questioning their good opinion. I just take it as it is. But if they change their opinions from between accomplishments, then that's really up to them. I can't intake that responsibility anymore. I need to pay for that anymore, because that's just really negative at this point. I need to come to a situation where I have to start thinking about myself highly first, because I'm the one that's doing the weightlifting. I'm the one that's doing the eating. I'm the one studying for that test or quiz. So I need to think about myself and judge my mentality first before anybody judges my accomplishments. You would love a job that requires you to work alone most of the time. I slightly disagree. I would love, after working a long time, working out of sight, out of mind, it gets pretty lonely, and I do like the idea of working alone some of the time, because already when we make content, we start out working by ourselves before we find ourselves with a team. And then once we have a team together, we're able to bounce off ideas. And I would love to have a work ethic and workflow to bounce off from, because if the project comes from multiple perspectives, that has so much more value than the one that comes from you doing the work by yourself. It's almost in a situation where group projects should have more value when you divide up the work evenly versus you doing it all night and then one of the people from school just writes their name next to yours and friends. You don't want to be the and friends when it comes to a project. You want to be. I feel like it's more valuable and more. It's more appreciated when it's done together, but there is value in work that's done alone. I just think after a long time of doing things by myself, I would like a team effort. You believe that pondering abstract, psychological, philosophical, philosophical, not psychological. You believe that pondering abstract, uh, philosoph- philosophical questions is a waste of time. I do not think so, because it's definitely a great way to really stretch and exercise your thought process and morals and ethics. That's why there's a huge thing when it comes to moral ethics, because that's the majority of the time when you think about those questions about ethics and philosophy, it's a reflection on yourself, and it's something that you can really learn from. But if you have the magic dragon, when you like have these questions, you can go into deeper conversations, or it really is kind of an exercise for both parties, to where if I were to talk to someone about the ship of Theseus and the metaphysics of identity, I can definitely it's definitely philosophical questions can is really telling about where someone is, because if they thought about it too much, as much as you have, they'll have an input that may or may not be similar than yours. And so discussion and friction within those discussions are really important to then stretch out and better identify the stand behind philosophical questions. The ship of Theseus is the easiest one to think about, or the trolley incident, the trolley dilemma, or there's a lot of, or the concept of like death and time after death, where again, The Good Place is a really good show to watch because it also questions the purpose of the afterlife and what it means to place yourself in, like what kind of mental state you need to be able to move on from the good place and go back into the cycle, which is a question a lot of people have. But again, it's a great mental exercise, and it really is telling on perspectives, because perspectives can always be molded but never really broken. I think that should make sense. You feel more drawn to a place with busy, bustling atmospheres than quiet, intimate places. That's. Am I more drawn to the crowds of New York and L.A. or than just the water, the ocean? I mean, I would say that I am. I would slightly agree that I would like to be drawn to a place of busy, bustling, only in the environment to where if I'm in a place to where I want to be on the grind and just work. If I was a Gary V intern, if I was making a YouTube career, if I was making you if I was making content, creating a primary income in my life, then sure, by all means, living in those areas is a great place to connect and a great place for creation and for the minds. However, I do actually would I would slightly disagree actually, and would prefer intimate, quiet places, because for as busy as we do get with our job, and for as busy as we get with our projects, we do need a moment. We do need. I want more moments where I slow down. I go to work and I work so hard and I work so often that I developed chronic inflammation. And before the recording, I just had some massage gun in my hand and icing, and I definitely do need when I'm at work even too. I have to definitely make time before going to work to massage my hand already as it is, and then ice throughout my time at work. I would just love a moment of just rest from this. This is why vacations are very important. And then whenever Joanna and I go on vacation, we take a week and a half maybe, to just like decompress. And it may not just be us going out. Maybe only I have the opportunity to decompress, and I can decompress by acts of services. So I remember having my Labor Day weekend off, and in that vacation from work, I did enjoy driving her around because it was lighter work, and I was able to relax a little bit more. I didn't have to stress about deadlines. I didn't have to stress about the volume of work I had to finish before the next batch or before I had to clock out. Definitely a lot more quieter, more intimate because the car rides are like are like scenic, and I already know what Seattle and Kirkland looks like, but the drive is definitely a lot. It was definitely relaxing because of my dad, and I say that because growing up we did a lot of what's the word road tripping to California because of family. So I do miss those times when we just would drive and just go to family. It's I would definitely appreciate more quiet, intimate places nowadays. I would definitely prefer like even hey, if I were to work on Twitch and YouTube as like a content creator, that's pretty quiet. That's pretty like that takes me away from working too hard or working so aggressively. So I feel a little more relaxed per se. You know at first glance how someone is feeling. I I I actually slightly disagree because I came from a place to where I would it's very bad to already assume how people's moods and feelings are because I already have a bad way of just expressing how I feel. So I can't just assume that they feel a certain way from their face. I've had a bad experience of being assumed angry, being assumed upset because I grew up with like a default sad face when I was in second grade. It was so bad because when I was in second grade there was pictures in school where I was sad, I was like sad beans and I don't know why. And so when I'm working, my facial structure looks like I'm upset and I'm very angry, but I'm also just really focused. I just want to get the work done. I'm in work mode, and if you were to look at me at first glance, I may be angry or really focused or really tired because when I'm at the gym, I just look like I'm gonna murder someone, like someone stole my lunch money, and I'm upset. But other times, I can be. I know that I can be very happy go lucky because of like once I'm fed, I'm very happy afterwards, and no one is truly aware of how I'm feeling. So that's just really how it is. I think I can be more expressive, I feel like, but that's neither here or there. But at first glance, I can't really look at someone because number one, staring long. I don't know actually how long it would take for a glance. Maybe for a 3 second glance, they may be having a bad aura. I can sometimes tell if I have a bad aura, but oftentimes, if they want to discuss and work through their emotions, then they definitely will make the effort to come out. Otherwise, I'll poke, but I won't agitate the beast, I don't think. And that's what I try to do. I try to do my best to not agitate the beast. I know I did do that when I was younger. I got in trouble growing up. I try cautiously to do that. But I'll fail as often as I'll succeed. So not my first rodeo. But yeah, this is where the episode ends. Thank you guys so much for listening and watching. Hope you enjoyed the show. If you liked it, please consider subscribing and following on YouTube and social media. You can follow me everywhere almost. Look for WTPHU, Wtphu. I'm hoping that these are very constructive answers to these questions because I'm equally energetic about learning more about myself, and the more I process these questions and emotions, the better hopefully we can figure out who I am later on. And if you like the conversations and sit downs, let me know down in the comments about your answers and questions. Thank you guys so much for watching, as always. Bye bye. My name's Tyler. I'm your friend, and I'll see you next time. Bye.